Yo everyone, so my name's Lennon and today I'm going to do a track breakdown on one of my unreleased tracks, Get Funky. I made this track back in March this year and I've kind of just been sat on it. I've had a few plays by people, a few interests, but what I do is run through the track breakdown, how I made the track, the groove, the drums, the bass, synths and everything. Yeah, I've had quite a few people message me and comment on my socials over the past couple of months saying any tutorials coming. So I thought, you know what, why not get one done? So I made this track at 129 BPM. I didn't actually have a reference in mind. I kind of just free roamed from it. I come back from an event, and then the next day I'd made this track and it come alive. So I'll run it through so you can hear what it sounds like, and then we'll break it down. So that gives you the rough idea of what the track sounds like. So first of all, we'll start with the bass. Very easy bass line using the operator under the guitar bass preset. But all I've added is a auto filter, turn down the frequency and up the resonance a bit, just to give it the sound that suits. But this is the bass. Nice easy rolling bass. And there's a few other little basses that I had not used. I don't like taking away all the elements because you can always come back and use them. So on the bass, you've got the yellow and the white color layouts. That stimulates my builds, breaks, and the drops. On the bass group, on the bass, that should actually be in the group. I've got this rack. It's just an auto filter and a bit of utility turning the gain down, and basically it just takes filters the bass out from the main drops to the break. So this is the on the build, coming into the break. Obviously the filter's off, and the filter's now on. And then all I've done is I've put on the automation on the filter frequency. I've kind of got the bass, the filter rolling off. Just another little touch. So that's the bass. Next we'll move down to the kick. I've actually got the Sydney Charles pack. I love using this pack. The one shots are really good. Nice punchy kick. EQ takes some of the moaniness out. Utility, and then exactly the same as the bass. I've just got a kick filter. So if I show the automations, you can see the kick and the bass mirror off each other through the whole track. I've got a ghost kick because at the time using this, I didn't have kickstart. So what I was doing was just using a compressor on the bass, using like a sidechain compressor to the kick instead of kickstart. Just another little way instead of buying plugins. But I've got that now. You'll notice later on in the project that there's quite a lot of plugins I've got. I've had to freeze the track because I've not transferred everything over to this new Mac that I'm using now. So that's the kick. I've also then got a little rev kick, which is just the same sample as the main kick, but just reversed. It just kind of just gives it another little effect build. Moving on to the drums. So this is what the drums sound like. So I group all my drums, and then second group, it's just basically just how I like keeping things tidy so that I can always look back. So the hats. So I'll start with the hats. Nice groovy hats. So first we've got this little swing hat. It's from a Piv pack, but I've just chopped the loop up to my suit. It's just loads of little swing hats. And I've got it panned to the left a little bit, but just basic EQ, that's on that. Next we have like a 16th, like a shaker. All I've done is turned down the volume, lowered the release, took some of the sustain and decay out. And then what I like doing on the shaker hats is always missing the third note out, which then clashes with the hat. On here we have a shaker 16th, which is playing every note, every 16th note, and then obviously the compressor should have been on this. I don't know why I've changed that, and that's just on the main hat, just cancelling it out, side chaining it. But yeah, like I say, played around with it, rolled it off a little bit of EQ. Moving on, we have the open hat swing, which is quite just a rolling hit. Gives it that nice bit of reverb of longer tail. Next we have another swing open hat. Then we have a loop which is playing a hat on all the kicks. It just gives it a bit more groove. Then we have a hat loop. Obviously, like I said earlier about the smack attack, not all plugins could be found because I've not transferred them over. Basically, smack attack is a transient shaper, so you can really play around the loops and the transients. But an alternative way of doing this is by clicking on the loop, coming down to the bottom here where it says transients, and this little arrow, the 3. If you click the top arrow and change this 100, you can really change the loop. So if I play it, so you can really, when the loops are really busy, you can kind of play around and adjust it to suit. Then we have our 2 closed hats. Very nice snappy hats. Then I have a first open hat. It's from a Piv pack, really nice pack this as well. Obviously it's the Jocko but Coulter pack. Piv have got some really nice packs. Next we have hi-hat 2, which it sounds like this. I'll open up the release a lot more to about 1 second. And obviously a bit of swing. Next, on the break I have the same open hat, but I've played with the attack more, so it sounds like this. So that's without it. And the tail on it. So if I play it with the hat. Let's go. Our next open hat, which is the same open hat as these two. As you can see, open hat 2A, open hat 2A break, open hat 2B, which is the same hat, but we're just utilising the sample. I've put it up a note to give it more of another sound. So if I play this hat, right, then on the last drop I have a ride, which is the 909 loop. But all I've done is I've rolled the release off on the automation at the end. So instead of the ride just cutting out like that, it kind of rolls out. So that's the hats. I also, on the hat group, I've got a reverb set onto the group and playing around with the decay, the dry and wet, sorry. So as you can see throughout the track, if I just play the hats, the dry and wet is going to automate up. Just another little effect, a little touch I like doing. So that's the hats. Now moving on to the claps and snares. So nice claps. The first 2 claps are the same. One's panned left, one's panned right. Then clap 2 we have it's like a 909, but I've turned down some of the sustain, and then we have an actual 909 clap with reverb on the tail. Then I have a snare fill which is layered with 2 sounds to make it sound like this. And yeah, just basic EQ. Don't want to overwork things. And then I have this, it's more of a clap snare fill, from a sample pack. I just chopped the loop out, but all I've done is I've added a reverb and put the decay to about 4.5 seconds, so it sounds like this. Kind of reverbs out. So that's the clap and snare. I also, on down here, I've got another return, which is a reverb chain, and basically at the end of all the main bits before the drops, I have it coming in, so it sounds like this. It kind of stimulates another little effect on the track. Next is the percussion. Nice, cool and responsey sort of vibe. So we have a shaker with smack attack on it, which I said about the transients. We then have a nice rim shot, just a 909 with a bit of reverb. Then I have another little perk hit, but like all I've done is added some delay, turned down the width, and put a ping pong on it, and then only a little bit of dry and wet. Then I have this tops loop, which is like a 90s style loop with smack attack. I've chucked a glue compressor on there to put it all together, and then I now have a tops loop, which is a break, like a break loop. All I've done is I've chopped out the last note because I didn't want it clashing with the other drums. So it sounds like this. And all I've done here is smack attack, auto filter, bit of side chain into the main kick. On the auto filter there, what I have done in is on the start of the track, I have it filtering in. So it's playing in, and then on the main build again as well. So that's the perks. Nothing really crazy on the drums, hats, claps, and that. Moving on to the melodics, which is the synths. This is what they all sound like playing off each other. As I'm really happy with how this all turned out on the synths. So they're all playing off each other. As you can sound, they're all down the side here. They're all organs, which is from the Korg Triton plugin. So the first stab is actually a sample I found on Loop Cloud. Just one simple note, and all I've done is I've played around the fade and the fade out, EQ, reverb. I've gone on the echo settings and found flutter on, which really works. And then I have a auto filter with a frequency on the LFO, kind of just filtering in and out. Next we have another organ stab from the Triton. Like I said, it's just a bit of basic, auto filter, bit of delay, saturation to beef it up a bit of reverb, and then EQ. Next, the M1 playing 2 notes. Only got EQ on there. Didn't want to do anything else with it because it sounded really nice and it's got a nice bit of reverb already built onto it. Next, we have another little stab with a nice bit of echo, bit of glue compressor to put it all together, and then erosion with the frequency chained to it. Next, we have this organ, which is playing 2 notes. And once again, just EQ on that. And then to finish it off, we have a clav, which is 3 notes with a bit of delay. Just kind of rolls out the loop. In the main build-up, or the main break, should I say, I found this synth loop, which I chopped up to just to play a couple of notes because I felt like the main break needed another little element coming in. So it sounds like this. Really sweeping. I see this little rack, a basic synth rack, off a Syntho video, and it's just a chorus ensemble with a auto filter, and it just kind of just swooshes it around. Really adds to the sounds or to the loop. Next is a pads that I found from a sample pack and just played around with it heavily, and it sounds like this. Just rolling throughout the track, just adds. And then to round it off, we have a M1 organ playing the same notes as the bass. Yeah, I've as you can see, if I just zoom that out, I've only got the M1 playing in 4 sections because I didn't want to have the M1 playing out throughout the whole track and the track sounding the same and people and the listener not being engaged by it because they're hearing the same sounds. So on the break one, I've got it coming in like this. All I've done with a bit of phaser flanger, saturation, I've got it auto filtering to play with the automation, and then delay, and obviously from Triton. So on the second drop, I've got it cutting out, and then halfway through the second drop, it's filtering back in like this, as you can see on the automation. And then on the build up, it's doing exactly the same again, but on the build up, I've got the delay chained to follow through, and then that gives half of the main drop a bit of breathe, like a bit of space, and then all of a sudden it comes back in and creates a lot more energy for the listener. So yeah, I'll play the all the synths again so you can listen to. So this is before the M1. So yeah, like I say, very cool and responsive on the synths, which I'm really happy with. Then we have some basic effects. I have a vinyl crackle playing throughout the whole track. Then I have a build-up, which is from a Max Chapman pack. Bit of white noise, and then delay to kind of run it off so it doesn't just end just like that. Obviously, 9 and 9 crashes. Then coming back here, I have a drum sample effect, which is basically all the drums reversed. So an alternative. This is obviously I found this off a sample pack, but it sounds like this. All I've done is a bit of delay and reverb. Okay, right. So next we have a snare fill, which sounds like this. Nice bit of reverb. Then I have a reverse snare, which is what I'll play. We have a snare sample, which sounds like this. And then I reversed it. So it's just using the same sample but twice. Your classic snare roll. Filtering out. And then I love, in all my tracks at the moment, I've been adding a reverse crash, which is just a crash reversed with a nice bit of delay and reverb. So now we have the vocals, which is the main bit of the track, what brings it all to life. Very easy on the vocals. Just found some one shots. So starting off with "Let's Go," sounds like this.
Let's go. Let's go.
Nice bit of delay, reverb, and then auto pan, just panning the sound around. We also have the main track name, "Get Funky."
Get funky.
Like I say, I've pretty much used the same processing for every element on the vocals. Obviously, I haven't got the auto pan on the Get Funky. I also then have the first bit of Get Funky Get, and I've put it onto a MIDI and created a chops. And then on the build, I've done it exactly the same again, but I've added more chops. And then this is a nice little element. It's basically a sample, just building a lot more atmosphere into the drop. But sample is actually reversed. So if I click R on that, it then reverses the track, and it's basically just saying yeah. So that's basically. Oh, and then we have here, clap your hands, everybody. That's what the CYHE stands for, which it sounds like this.
Your hands, everybody.
So then that works well with the get funky. So it goes, clap your hands, everybody, get funky.
Your hands, everybody. Get funky.
Yeah, so that is about it. Very easy on the track on the processing. Like I say, I'm always still learning. So um, I made this in March, and like kind of there's things going through this track now that I knew I could have done better, or what I've learned since then I can implement. So this isn't a final version, but this is a just a rough copy. I've also then got just a pre-master, just a pre-master or a temporary master chain that I always use just to listen to tracks. I've not tested out on that. So yeah, and this is what the track sounds like. I'll play it from the start, and you can just listen to the whole track through. Um, Also, make sure to drop if there's any comments or anything you want to know. Then let me know below, or what videos you'd like me to do next on the tutorials. Because I'm happy to put it out there if people are requesting stuff, or if there's any questions on how I made certain things or any help. Just let us know below, or drop us a message on Instagram at Lennon DJ. Like I said, I'm not the best at explaining, but I hope I can help as much as possible. So this is Get Funky, Unreleased, and yeah, hope you enjoy.